Hello, welcome to Lorbek Luxury Cars. I'm Harry and on this edition of the Friday Drive, I've got the great pleasure to present to you this, our 1996 Porsche 911 Turbo. Now being a 1996, that means that this is a 993 generation, which in turn means that it's the very last of the air-cooled Porsche 911s. Now this, you might go as far to say, means that it's probably the most collectible Porsche when you consider both usability and investment potential. With a typically rear-mounted 3.6 litre turbocharged flat six, the 993 generation of 911 Turbo produces 300 kilowatts and 540 newton meters of torque, which is good enough to get this all-wheel drive Porsche 911 from 0 to 100 in just 3.8 seconds. And to be perfectly honest, that's really all there is to say about this car, because when you step inside, it's typical Porsche 911 in this era. Very simple, very ergonomic, very basic, and totally undistracting. So, without further ado, let's just jump in and give it a good old-fashioned burn. First get into the 911 Turbo and start to make your way down the road, it feels like any other 911. It's comfortable, the visibility is phenomenal, the ride is firm but compliant, and you get that very distinct flat six thrum from the back. However, when you sink your boot into the deep pile carpet and you build up some revs, this thing throws you into the back of your seat that would even make a new performance car sit back in awe. It's incredible to think that this car is nearly 24 years old. I mean, new performance and supercars do drive differently to this, but it doesn't feel actually that foreign. There's nothing difficult or intimidating about it. It's not until you poke the bear that it roars into life. It's a perfect example as to why the Porsche 911 is so successful. No other supercar is so usable and practical, yet so rewarding for a driver. You don't have to be on your toes if you don't want to be. You can just drive it normally and it will never bite back. But as soon as the urge to have a little bit of fun comes over you, you can do it. It's absolutely terrifying on the limit in all the right ways. Though modern supercars are extremely fast and unbelievably capable on the limit, it's that capability which makes them anything but scary. The Porsche 911 Turbo is as safe a supercar as you'll ever get, but it doesn't feel that way, which is good. You have to be alert, you have to be really on the ball with this, particularly if you're driving it with some vigour and enthusiasm, because as soon as you take your eye off the ball, it will bite back. And that's why every time you get out of this car, you feel like you've had the biggest adrenaline hit you could possibly hope for. Oh, wrong gear change. And with prices on the rise, the 993 generation is the 911 to buy today, particularly our turbocharged Australian delivered version with low kilometres and a fully documented Porsche history from new and up to date. So come down to Lorbek Luxury Cars and buy this pristine and super collectible example today. We'll see you next week.